Hey guys, for a lot of you, this video will be overkill, or you'll be able to point out things that I've said wrong. But if you were like me 3 years ago or so, and you're thinking about getting into motorcycling, even sitting on a bike and knowing all the controls was something I had never done. I didn't ride dirt bikes as a kid. I never rode a motorcycle until I got into this just a few years ago. And you know, it can be intimidating walking into a bike shop when you don't know anything. So obviously the internet's real helpful to kind of get ready. And I'm going to show you on this Indian Springfield just some of the very basics, right? So kind of like motorcycle 101 of some of the parts and stuff. So, you know, I'm going to turn this around so you can take a look at the bike. This is the clutch here. You know, most motorcycles are manual. So you got to pull in the clutch here to change gears, and you change gears down here. Now, when you're buying your first bike, things that I wish I had kind of known and thought about was my first bike came with pegs, and I switched them out to floorboards. And this is how you change the gears on a motorcycle, and it's first gear is all the way down, and the next gear up is neutral, and then second, third, fourth up to whatever you have. This bike has goes up to 6th gear. And then you go back down and you do that here. I've added toe rest and crash bars. If you're a new rider, a lot of people will tell you buy a used bike because you're gonna crash it or drop it. Well, it took me what, 2.5, 3 years of riding before I did my first drop, and that was a slow speed maneuver drop. But I did want the crash bars for my own safety. If that bike, which weighs hundreds of pounds, lands on you during an accident, is going to damage you, and it's going to damage the bike. Some of the smaller bikes come with, well, when you add them, they have these crash bars in the front. These larger baggers will have crash bars in the back as well to protect this weight and the bag during an accident. So these are floorboards that you might want to consider for a comfort level on longer rides. You know, obviously a seat, but I'll just mention that one of the first upgrades I did on all 3 of the Indians I've bought is to replace the stock seat. It's uncomfortable, so you want to put that in your budget probably, if you're buying an Indian at least. And if you have passengers on this bike, these are passenger floorboards here. Let's go back up. Going around, you've got a horn switch. I replaced the horn. The stock horn on this bike sounded like a little moped. Meep, meep. And I wanted something that would command attention, so that was an easy swap out. But you do have a horn. You got your headlights. These are always on low beam, and then this switches off to high. These are turn signals. You left, right, and you do this. It's your hazard lights when you hold it, and also it cuts off the turn signal. Now this bike has a feature that if you have your turn signal on and then you turn right, and when you get up to whatever it is, 20 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, it turns the turn signal off automatically. So that's something to think about if that's important to you. I'm going to go over to the right side here. This is your throttle, of course. You got to turn this to make the bike go. That's what that does. And this is also your front brake here. Your rear brake, I'll show that in a minute, but this is your front brake. This is the power button for the bike. This primes it and starts it up. So, you know, if you hit the power button, it starts the process of getting the bike ready. And then when you do that, you'll hear the gas getting primed. And if I hit that again, it's going to start the bike. It won't start right now because it's in gear. Some bikes, my first ones did not. They would start in first gear with the kickstand down at that. So I learned that the hard way. I don't know that they were designed that way, but that's what they did. And of course your mirrors here. And you know, different bikes have different technology. My Super Chief Limited has a lot of computer stuff up here. And the reason I like this bike is it's simple. You got your gas gauge. This is a plug for a battery charger, or you can connect an adapter to make it USB. Gas tank is here. This removes. This is for show. This is inoperable, and I added the decorations here. And I'm gonna hit that power switch back on. If you notice back here, this little switch right here, there's one on each side. That toggles through. I'm hitting that toggle switch right there with my finger. That toggles through different menu items on the bike. The one on the right side, which you hold it in, actually it has to be on a certain screen, and I always forget which one. Maybe it's this one. Well, anyhow, it has to be on a certain one of these to trigger this right switch. And what it shows you on that one is it's a tire pressure monitor. And it also, this bike has 3 touring modes, and you can change it. And then on the left one, like if I held in the left toggle button, it would bring this trip back to 0. And so that's what you've got there. Pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of controls here. Let's go around to the back of the bike, to the other side of the bike. So, sorry, just keeping an eye on this parking lot with people coming and going. This is the floorboard for this side, and this is your rear brake here. Your front brake we talked about is right here. This is the rear brake. You got the crash bars and the tow rest that I added here. These are things you might want to think about if you're buying a bike. What are you going to upgrade or add that it's missing? This is a horn that I added aftermarket. I mentioned I wanted a louder horn. This is a very loud horn. It's the Buffalo brand horn. I added this coin as a decoration. And exhaust, a lot of people end up adding slip-ons or completely new, as I did here to improve the sound a little bit. And you got these rear crash guards and the passenger rest here. On the front, this bike came with halogen lights, which, you know, they looked vintage, I guess, but I wanted better lighting, so I swapped out the lighting. That's something to think about if you want LED lighting. This brand I'm kind of iffy on. I'm not out at night that much. They're very visible during the day, which I like. I added these wind deflectors here. Again, this is not controls necessarily, but it's things, if you're thinking about buying a bike, you may as well go ahead and budget. I saw a meme one time that said, motorcycling will make you a millionaire if you're a billionaire. And there's a lot of spending that goes on from gear and just customizing the bike to your taste a little bit. And I've done nothing crazy. This is just kind of basics to get it comfortable. But I added these wind deflectors here to kind of take away some of the buffeting. And, you know, you got your turn signals here. And these are riding lights that you can turn on and off using this switch right here. Turns on and off those lights. I leave them on all the time. And I know I'm leaving out a lot of stuff that, you know, other people would probably point out, but to me those are just kind of the basic controls. Like if you've never been on a bike and you just want to be conversant, well, we just did a quick walk around of the bike. The menu on that Indian, you know, has a trip meter, 2 trip meters, gas gauge, miles per gallon. I don't know how accurate it is. Whereas the Super Chief Limited has navigation. You can control music that's synced up to your headset. It's a little wonky, so I love gadgets and computers, but you know, I ended up buying this bike after it, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. Now, because I want to know where I'm going, I added this mount for a navigation unit from Garmin, and you know, it's something to think about if you're going to be doing trips, is how to know where you're going. Sometimes, you know, old school guys would just tape up exit numbers and some directions on their windshield or on their tank, and just have it taped up and follow that. That's one way, but I like using technology. On the back here, again, I think the bike came with LED. I don't know on this bike actually. I ended up, these were just turn signals when I bought the bike. And I bought a kit that turned this into a brake. And also these are brake lights right here. So when I hit the brake, this, and these light up and they flash in a pattern that I had set. And I'm really glad I did that for visibility. And again, if you're going to buy a bike, you may as well be thinking about what, if you're buying used, does it already have some of these things? Because it'll save you the hassle of having to buy them and install them. Or if you're going to buy new, does it already have these things that you might want to add for safety, visibility? And on the exhaust, you know, there's a whole bunch of people that say the stats show that the louder exhaust doesn't help. I don't know. You know, I think it's an odd thing to study about accidents that never happened. I don't know how you study an accident that never happened to say that loud pipes don't save lives. Like, the people that believe both sides of this are very passionate. I know that I had a bike coming up behind me when I was out on a busy road here with my wife, and I was in a car, and I'm like, man, where is that bike coming from? It's loud. And it was from behind me. And I've heard people I respect on other channels say, you know, all the sound is going back, so you only hear them when the bike is in front of you. To me, that's just not accurate. And I know that people are distracted, but the loud pipes can hurt. But I just don't know how you track an accident that never happened because somebody did hear the bike and maybe paid attention. Now, for the accidents that did happen, okay, yeah, maybe those loud pipes didn't help in those accidents. But anyhow, kind of like a firearm. I'd rather have them and not need them to help avoid an accident. And maybe they will help or not, but I just like hearing them. These I'm really pleased that I put on. They're not too loud in my opinion. My other two bikes, I think they were, one was loud, or is loud, and the other was obnoxiously loud. And that was my first bike. But wait, there's more. On the ride home, it hit me that I didn't share a couple of things about the basic controls on the bike. One thing I wanted to show you was, this is the key. Now, some motorcycles have a key that you need to put in and turn. My Indian Scout did. The other bikes will have, like this one, a key fob that you just have to have on you. But you may have noticed there is a key. That key will go in here to lock the saddlebags. And I'm going to step back. I'm going to demonstrate this. This is to unlock the saddlebag if we wanted to do that, if it was locked. And if you click once, you may not have heard that, but it locked. And if I click it twice, you're going to hear, I don't know, this microphones don't do a good job of showing how loud this is, but I don't know if you can tell that, but that echoes throughout the area. It's very loud. A couple other things I wanted to show you. I'm going to turn this around. Here, you got two switches here. This locks and unlocks the saddlebags, just like the key fob. So this is locking and unlocking. Center, I don't think does anything. So you can either use the key fob or use these buttons to lock and unlock. This is optional, and it's for heated grips. And I do have the heated grips. It has 10 settings, and when you, I've got heated grips on both bikes that I added, Indian brand. I think this one has 10 settings. I think that one has 3. I'm running off memory though, because I've only had a few months where I got to experience it. And it shows up here, and it goes up, and it gets hot. So I just wanted to show you those other two things, the key and the controls for the locking saddlebags and the heated grips. All right, see you back out on the road. Anyhow, I hope this helped a little bit. If there's more you want to see, if you got questions, let me know. All right, see you on the road.